Hello friends, welcome back to ReddX Trace Amounts of Science. Today we're getting this r/NiceGirls because they're just so nice. No, that's not actually true. They will turn into demons as soon as you refuse them once for the tiniest little thing, and we'll see many examples of it today. I hope you'll enjoy. Thanks so much for being here. Let's get on into this thing. OP saying something blah blah blah. Basically he's asking her to split a $350 sushi dinner. Best of luck to you, Jessica. So yeah, OP's GTFO'd, and Jessica, well, she's more upset than she's letting on, I think. She says, ha ha, get to know you're broke and not a gentleman. So you'd want me to pay $20 for gas to drive to see you and pay for my own food on top of spending 2 hours getting ready? The $20 for gas. Who's the broke one, dude? You can't afford $20 for gas. Maybe you shouldn't be dating, honestly. If this is the energy you project for a first date, I'm glad I'm not finding out anything else. I have no shortage of successful men who want to take me out. Yeah, I'm gonna send you 20 bucks for gas money. It's not even her 20 bucks that she spent to get out there. It's about finding a man who has his life together, mentally, spiritually, and financially, so we can build a successful life together. Well, you don't seem very together spiritually, mentally, or financially, so essentially what you're expecting here is for somebody else to pick you up. I don't have these things myself, so I want someone who does, so I can take from them. Why don't you get your own shit figured out first, and then we can go from there. I mean, not us, we, but like you, just away from me. You've shown who you are. I can tell a lot about a man before and during a first date, and you have already failed the test. Yeah, that's why you're so mad about it, isn't it, Jessica? This is probably why you're single and miserable. Truly, thank you for showing me how pathetic you are. OP just says, wow, looks like I dodged a bullet. That you did, OP. And we could all be grateful for that one. Like, I don't know what's going on in Jessica's life, okay? But truthfully, she seems like the one who is miserable and single. I don't think getting into a relationship with OP is gonna fix it for her. Like, it's just a fundamentally broken human being who wants to make everybody around her worse. But what else can we expect from Jessica? Let's go ahead, roll on through, get into another post. Okay, so our next OP, again, take a chicks out for sushi. First date's not a great idea. He asked her to split the bill at Nobu. It sounds like a sushi place. I didn't look it up. He says, will we be meeting EO anytime again soon? Thinking emoji. And she says, oops, was giving my dog a bath. Soz. You keep asking to take me out, but the real question is where you will be taking me out. Oh my god. It's one of these. Just cut and run, OP. It's not worth it. Whatever's happening here, just it's not worth getting into. OP does not take that advice and says, well, do you have a place in mind? And she says, no, I'm an indecisive girl. Yeah, I can't come up with restaurants inside my little girly brain. I don't know where I want to go. Fucking pull yourself together. You're trying to ask me for something, but you don't even have the balls to actually ask me. Just come out and say it. Please, I want to go to the $100 sushi restaurant. And I'll be like, yeah, that ain't for me, bye. Maybe that's what she's scared of. I will eat just about anything, so it's hard to choose just one. Oh yeah, she's a big girl too, huh? There's nothing wrong with that. Healthy appetite! That's what we call it. OP just says, are we thinking dinner date or something more exciting? No, she's about the dinner date. I can tell. She says, dinner date! You see? I told ya. OP says, how about Chili's? And she says, oh, lol. What, you too big for Chili's? You wanna go down to the Outback Steakhouse, get a bloomin' onion? Is that what this is about? It's not gonna happen. So after her oh, she just sends a reaction emoji, you know, disbelieving, I believe it is. And OP says, well, I take it you don't want Chili's then? Salute emoji. Yeah, you're too good for Chili's, then get out of here, honestly. I'm gonna take you down to the McDonald's dollar menu. You gotta earn Chili's in this house. She says, nothing wrong with Chili's, it's just a cheap place. And I'm questioning if you think I'm a cheap person. It's not somewhere you go on a dinner date to. Oh, really? Chili's is damn fine, okay? I want my food hot and fresh out of the microwave. and I want to pay $30 for it. Please and thank you. Not really. Fuck Chili's though. It's more like a stop by to eat on a road trip or something like that. Oh, it's road trip food, but not date food, and never the twain shall meet. OP says, then what would you prefer? And she says, well, something like Nobu. And OP says, yeah, pricey. You have expensive taste, but if we're both paying, then I'm down. And she says, that's strike 3. Oh, big loss that I didn't get to go enjoy some sushi next to like a literal whale monster. She's just gonna upend the entire sushi bar into her mouth, and I'm gonna be out tens of thousands of dollars from this date that I'm supposed to pay for. Like, even if I had the money to spend, this seems like the most wretched person to ever try and spend some time with. You know what I mean? I think every second around you is going to be absolute misery, and I'm just not willing to pay for that experience. I can get it for free in my own head. She says, that's strike 3. If Nobu's pricey, then I question what kind of man I'm working with here. Working with, huh? Because she's trying to work you over. That's really what's happening. She's trying to run her little schemes. But yeah, nobody has disposable income for schemes these days. Of course, we could split the bill, but for you to predetermine that option is grimace emoji. It makes me feel like you're holding me to the obligation that I have to pay. This feels super presumptuous on your part. I mean, it's normal for people to split the bill, especially if it's like super expensive restaurant. Look, I ain't got the fucking scratch for all that, okay? Of course I'm gonna be presumptuous. You think I wanna walk in there, get stuck with a $300 bill and, yeah, have to pull it out of my ass? I only came with $100. I'm gonna have to wash dishes for at least 4 hours. OP says, well, I'm so confused. Strikes? I don't wanna leave this off on the wrong note, so could you please explain to me what I did wrong? She doesn't even know. She's just like, gave me the ick. You wouldn't give me lots of money, so I have to go away now. Good. I'm glad you're gone. I hope you never come back. She says, you lack awareness if you can't see what you've done wrong. See? She can't even explain it. It's fucking fascinating. You also lack generosity. Yeah, rich people don't generally give away money to everybody that they meet, okay? That's how they stay rich. If I was gonna spend half a stack on a first date, like, you would have to blow me out of the water. Not just physically, but like mentally. And I don't see any of that mental engagement here. I'm frustrated by your existence and your entitlement. God, that's really what it is. So yeah, lack generosity. And you're clearly more concerned about the costs rather than the experience itself. Well, no shit, you ain't worried about the cost. Like, you're not the one that's gonna be paying. Sorry, but you will not be seeing me again. I want to keep my peace instead of allowing the possibility of an egotistical man in my life. So your number is getting deleted. Goodbye. Yeah, and good fucking riddance. That's what I have to say. Just the audacity for you to be like, I totally would have gone halvesies. Would you? Would you really? I don't think so. She wants you to wait until they're at the restaurant to talk about it. I ain't buying that for a second. I don't like the vibe. You presumably went on at least one date with her because she said, see me again. But yeah, we call that just sunk cost fallacy. It's not worth continuing on. We probably should have figured that out after the first date. Just be like, oh, you're that way, are you? Let's see how the Gubbinses feel about this one.
She mad because Chili's 2 for $20 don't come with yacht view. Me think she confused date with adoption by oil tycoon. She talk like Yelp review with daddy issues. Gubbins.
Ain't no lie there. I'm glad that OP got up and out, honestly. How about you, Dark One?
The sea creature hungers still, not for love, but for filet mignon and validation. She breaches only to complain, a wail of entitlement bellowing over the sound of reason. Dark Gubbins.
What was that, the whale monster girl, or was that the other one? I don't know. We're having like a gold digger special. Sushi gold diggers specifically. I don't know what's happening, but I'll take it. It's a joy. So let's continue on and see some more creatures that are allergic to humility, apparently. Gold digger special today. She says, hey. And Opie says, hey, how's it going? And she says, bad. It's not a great way to start. Opie says, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And she says, I'm so stressed. Yeah, well, why are you stressed? Opie doesn't even ask. He just says, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I love that. You got this shit handled, okay? We're not given more than we can bear, all right? Believe in your own abilities. She says, I have no money for food and nowhere to sleep. Opie says, well, maybe you should get a job and start sucking at life. Holy shit. The savagery. That's too good. I love that more than anything. Yeah, it's a pretty easy fix. Get a fucking job. She says, maybe you should blow me. And Opie says, you got time for Tinder? You got time to work. Chop, chop. I love it. Oh, I've been slain by this post alone, dude. That is so ridiculously savage, but also very truthy, very truthy. Like, if you don't have a place to sleep, literally, yeah, maybe you would be motivated to get a job. What she'd much rather do, I guess, is attach herself like a parasite to somebody else's life. I think that's somewhat of a common theme among these nice girl posts. They never want to do for themselves. It's up to you to hand me absolutely everything, isn't it? I don't agree. I don't like that outlook. But it seems like OP gave her enough to think about, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it pushing. Our next OP says, at least she thinks I look good. And hey, yeah, that is a bit of a consolation prize for when everything gets turned on its head. She says, I saw the progress pics you posted on Insta, and you look so good. OP says, well, thank you so much, praying hands emoji. She says, how has everything been? No response, ha ha ha. She's really trying to get back in, isn't she? I see you've been doing some work on yourself, and I'd like to come and throw all that shit out of whack. If I could, if I may. OP says, yeah, I said thank you, but I'd rather not keep the conversation going, seeing as you ghosted me after our date. Damn, that's real. I got some standards out here. You come fucking crawling back. Good. I'm glad you came crawling back, but still, no dice. It's good energy, OP. I love it. She says, I'm sorry for that. I should have just been honest about my feelings instead of leaving the way I did. Okay? It's like almost accountability, I guess. OP says, it's fine. I just figured you weren't into bi guys. And she says, no, it wasn't that. I don't mean to be rude at all, but you looked a little smaller in your pictures, and when I saw you in person, I was a little thrown off because I wasn't really into bigger guys. Wasn't? Past tense? It's interesting. But yeah, people go through weight fluctuations, I don't know. Like, it's pretty clear if you're lying, but she said he's just a little bigger. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bigger. OP still gives her the brush off and says, oh, okay, that's cool. Well, thanks for the kind words. Take care. And she says, don't be like that, Eddie. I don't even mean it that way. I'm telling you as nicely as I can right now to fuck off. I'm not interested. I don't trust you. I'd not like to pursue a relationship with you. But she just, you gotta make this as difficult as possible, don't you? Don't be like that. Forcing a conversation on me that I don't want to have. Ugh. She says, I know I should have approached the situation better, and for that, I'm apologizing. But seeing your picture this morning brought back so many old feelings that I had for you. I want us to work this time. Did you guys just have a date, or was this like a whole relationship? Because she seems really fucking into what was, I believe, just one date. Work? What work? I got nothing for you. Leave me alone. OP says, so you ghosted me because I was too big for you, and now that I'm a suitable size, you want to rekindle things? I admire your audacity, but I'm good. Lamau, have a good day. Eddie letting her know how it is, dude. Like, yeah, you only like me for the physical attribute. I guess there was a mental connection or something, but the physical attribute blocked it. And really, the mental connection should be stronger than that, shouldn't it? Maybe not on a first date, though. I don't know. If I really unpack it, I guess I can see it both ways. But yeah, sometimes you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. Lurk around on Instagram and be like, I don't know, I'd date her if she was skinnier. Yeah, if you flip the genders, then things make a lot more sense. It's pretty gross what she's doing. Anyway, let's throw it to the gubbins and see how they feel.
She ghost, then crawl back like raccoon sniffing old trash. Me hope she trip on her own audacity and land in recycling bin marked delusional. Gubbins.
Okay, well, one, I don't think we want to recycle any part of that. And two, don't compare OP to old trash, okay? It's not the best metaphor we could have come up with. But, you know, A for effort, points for trying. Now you give it a swing, Dark One.
Observe the necromancy of regret. She resurrects the corpse of a relationship she herself butchered, only to find it smells of irony and desperation. Dark Gubbins.
Well said. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's my boy, Dark Gubbins. There's my boy, isn't it? It's okay. Pick up the pace, Gubbins. You guys are both doing great. It's fine. I'm having a good time today. Let's keep it rolling. Regarding our next post, OP wants everyone to know that this woman is 41 years old. She says, I don't. I'm already out. I'll come right now. And OP says, yeah, I'm kind of tired, not gonna lie. Again, this is sort of a trying to be nice brush off. But as nice girls are wont to do, she just doesn't take no for an answer. She says, I'll go home. If you don't like me, just say so. You made me come out the house. It's fine. I don't like you either. My boyfriend's a Marine. Oh, the boyfriend. I think you failed to mention that before. You're not really my type. And OP says, cool. Best of luck. She couldn't let it go. You want some dinner though? It's on me. I could pay. No. I think I would like that the least of anything in the world, if I'm completely honest. Like, just because she's out of the house, that's a reason that we gotta do the thing. We gotta follow through on the plans. I'm good. I'll just go back home. That's where I'd rather be anyways. How horrible must it have been for OP to just like back out like that? She's on the way to the date spot and OP says, no. Please don't come, please. Did she send you a selfie in the car and you're just like, holy shit, what have I done? That's hilarious. Better luck next time, I guess. We're moving on. Our next post is also rabid and unhinged. You're gonna love it. OP says, I am free next week, Wednesday. And she says, that's ages away. Get a job. The time will fly. Get a hobby. Anything besides staring into your phone and doom scrolling, and you will be amazed at how quickly the time passes. OP says, I'm free tomorrow, evening time. And she says, I have work. Oh, good. She does have work. Good. We're making progress. She's doing for herself out there. Okay. 1 point in NiceGirls column. He says, okay, well, give me a day then. You're not suggesting anything. And she says, it's up to the guy. I hate this. Yeah, totally. I'll just plan the whole thing out. Why not? You give me no input at all, and when it sucks and we do a thing that you don't like, you can totally blame me for the situation. Neat. OP says, how about Monday? She says, Wednesday. OP says, evening time? In this place? And she says, if I don't get a better offer. And OP says, from another dude? And she says, yeah. And OP says, well, safe. If you get a better offer, then feel free to go. I'm not really bothered. And she says, oh, so you're saying you don't care about me? Truthfully, I don't. I don't at all. I've invested nothing. It's a zero-sum game, as far as everybody here is concerned. OP says, no, I'm saying that if we make a plan for Wednesday and you get a better offer, then go. I'm not arsed. And she says, wow, okay. What the fuck is this? She's trying so hard to make it look like she's got options, and he's trying so hard to make it look like he doesn't give a shit. And so the relationship, quote unquote, it's not a relationship, but the date, the interaction has already started off as a complete dumpster fire. Personally, I do think OP is handling it in about the best way that you can. You're just like, okay, well, you go do whatever it is you need to do, you know? Sort yourself out. I may or may not be here when you get back. Probably not, if I'm honest. I got options too, you know? Even if she does have work, this is clearly somebody with way too much time on their hands, okay? Just give it a rest, if you could, if you're able. But no rest for me yet. We gotta keep it pushing into the next post. Sophie says, all because I didn't respond for 2 hours. It's gonna be beautiful. She asked, what's your work schedule like? And OP said, I work remote, so it's pretty flexible. And she says, lol, do you have a plan for Thursday? OP says, yeah, I had a restaurant in mind. I could pick you up at like 7. And then she says, lucky that his work schedule is flexible, which honestly is pretty fucking lit, yeah. She says, I work at an office, so in the mornings I want to be home by like 10 at the latest. And then cute frog emoji. That's nice. This is starting off real nice. She sent her cute frog emoji at 9, and then at 11 she says, oh, we don't have to go out on Thursday if you're not interested. Lol, that's the vibe I'm getting, and I don't like it. because he didn't respond immediately, I guess. OP says, what? My last text was confirming a time. I was out with friends. I don't really check or respond to messages when I'm out. And she says, the cougar has been let down. Oh, you're one of those, are you? That's your entire personality trait? I'm seasoned. Okay, well, what life experiences or insights do you have that make you so seasoned? And she's like, I banged a bunch of dudes. I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm interested anymore, actually. Cute cat sticker, though. OP says, sorry, I was genuinely interested in taking you out. I was just busy yesterday and didn't have as much time to text. Yeah, and why do I have to fucking explain myself anyways? OP says, I'm not gonna lie, that text turned me off a bit. Me too. She says, all right then, wish you the best. OP says, you too. Hope you find what you're looking for. And she says, you're not ready for a relationship if you lack this much communication skills, little boy. Yeah, that's really what the cougar thing is about. You want to have power over the partner in the relationship, and it's pretty gross. Again, swap the gender roles and see what happens. It's not a good look. Can't sign off on none of that, little boy, because I didn't text you for 2 hours. Sorry, I'm not fucking glued to pocket computer. Okay, my bad. I go out and do things occasionally. It's exactly what I'm talking about. You're not seasoned. You're boring. It's like a seasoned bowl of oatmeal. You just have a crust on top. You gotta peel back before you can get to the gooey center. I don't think I'm helping here, but I am having fun, so let's do some more. All right, this one's got some more of that shit test double speak. She says, I want to touch you. And OP says, that's probably the best opener I've ever heard. He's excited. Touch away, blank. The feeling is reciprocated. I mean, that's a wild first message. If you send that to me, I will be disinterested so fast it'll make your head spin. Like, I'm not the first one you said this to. Get out of here, you gross. But OP's into it, sure. And then all of a sudden she's not. Dang! At least take me out to dinner first. Bit forward, don't you think? This ain't the 1950s. You can't just be touching women. Yes, I'm allowed to touch you. Don't touch me back ever. Ever! You hate monger? And she says, also, just read your profile. A small warning, if you want to be friends first, we will never touch, and I will never think of you in a romantic way. I do not touch my friends or let them touch me, and I don't think of them in that way. I mean, yeah, that's kind of weird. Friends first seems to work on paper. Sometimes it does, but I don't know, dude. I find much more success in immediately checking a box. Are you here for romance or friends? And then the dudes that are straight up will say romance, and probably you get to be romantic. But the dudes that say friends sit in the friend zone for a decade and then seethe about it later. Like, I don't know what you want from me, dude. This is the path that you picked. The path that this nice girl picked is rather weird, I'll be honest. Like, why would you open up that way? And then he just says reciprocation, and she's like, how dare you? It's a test of some sort. I guess she just wanted to see if you're a touchy grabby boy. And yeah, OP didn't pass the test. That's alright, you'll get him next time, champ. Next post. Next OPS, if he's the crazy one here, I'll be the judge of that. She says, not much. What about you? And OP says, yeah, not much either. Is everything all right? Do you maybe want to hang out sometime soon? And she says, honestly, no. I'm sick and tired of constantly feeling unwanted. OP says, well, no to what part? You don't want to hang out?
Then we don't know what we did.
Well, yeah, but she's opening up to like a bigger thing here. You're supposed to ask. There's some subtext, and I just love that OP is not picking it up. That's okay. In the Tinder video yesterday, I didn't understand the Shark Tales reference, and like the whole comments blew up about it. So I guess sometimes it's good. We can't pick up all the subtext all the time, and you know, OP he made a bit of a boner, so that's fine. We everybody gets a freebie. He says, I really would like to hang out, to get to know you and see where things go. And she says, I don't look to go with the flow. And OP says, what? What do you mean? This fucking deer in the headlights, man. I love to see it. She says, I don't do casual dating. And OP says, okay. We met on Hinge. I'm a bit confused. She is too. Don't worry, everybody here's a little bit confused. She says, oh, you say let's see where it goes. It doesn't sound like you want something serious. I mean, is that what's making you feel unwanted? The fact that I didn't put a ring on it before the first date? What the fuck are you expecting of me, truly? OP says, I'm open to things possibly being serious. I just don't really know you yet. That's why I'm trying to hang out with you or do something, lol. Yeah, but then I have to do things and put forward effort in getting to know somebody and build a relationship, and it's just so hard. I'd rather sit here and doom scroll and complain. Jesus, man. It's not gonna happen. Just cut your losses right now. Stop wasting your breath. It's not gonna happen. She says, I don't want my time wasted then. Sorry, I don't want to wait for someone to figure out what they want. Yeah, you gotta commit to me upon first interaction. OP says, what? I'm so confused, lol. I'm telling you that I'm open to trying things. If they don't work out, then that's fine and normal. It's a part of dating. And she says, it's actually not a part of dating. Oh, well. That's why every date goes so perfectly all the time. If that were the case, I don't know if I'd have a channel. The ugly, stupid side of dating is what I love the best. But yeah, it's not part of dating because lady said so. It should work out if you really intend on growing with someone. Why are you confused? I don't want to be like an experiment to someone. Bye. Yeah, but bye. Have a nice life, at least as best you can, I suppose, with the current mode that you're in. It's really hard to suss out what the fuck is going on here, truly. I don't blame OP at all for being confused. Like, I thought I was tracking a little bit. I think I still am. She just wants you to commit. You want to be like girlfriend-boyfriend exclusivity before the first date, which is... I just don't think that's gonna happen. If you meet somebody who's willing to do that, then you should be wary of that person. It's been a minute since we had the governors in here, so let's see what they think about this.
She want commitment before eye contact. Me think she speedrun loneliness like an achievement. Whole conversation smell like candle labeled desperation and cat hair. Gubbins.
Desperation and cat hair. I told the boy to step it up, and he really did. How about you, Dark Ones?
A tragedy of the terminally alone, demanding eternal love from a stranger on Hinge like it's a blood pact. Her soulmate is probably a rotisserie chicken on clearance. Dark Gubbins.
Yeah, I asked the boys to bring it, and they surely did. Beautiful, wonderfully done. Should we continue on? I suppose we shall. Let's get into the next one. Okay, here's another terrible about me. This one is probably not a quote from Shark Tale like the one in the r/Tinder video yesterday, okay? It's Kay, everybody. She's 21. About me. Honestly, I'm here because I'm mad as fuck at my passive ass loser of a boyfriend of 4 years who fumbled me so hard and can't do shit, and still after 4 years can't even bang. So, crying emoji. I want a man who wants me and who wants to treat me right from day one and not spend 4 fucking years of my life wasting my time and fumbling me so insanely horrifically. Yeah, fumbled like a football, just an inanimate object. I have no power in this relationship. You're supposed to take me to the touchdown. I'm pretty sure go fuck yourself. Another gold digger coming up. I want to be a real rich guy's sexy, hot, rich, spoiled, loved, and cherished housewife trophy wife. I have insanely high standards. If you can't meet them, please don't waste my Tim. Yes, I would hate to waste your Tim. So let me just tell you that that's probably not going to happen. It's not going to happen ever. You know how trophy wives become trophy wives? They either A, go to high school with trophy man, or B, accomplish something to get close enough to trophy man and woo him. Swiping on Tinder? Yeah, that ain't ever going to happen. Okay, you're fucking delusional for even considering that as a reality. Okay, I want to do nothing. Where are all the super rich guys? Like, you could maybe be a side chick at best. At best, I mean, I haven't even seen what we're working with. I have my doubts. But yeah, you're aiming for the stars when really all you're doing is sitting on your couch with your thumb up your ass day in and day out. You know, of course you're never going to reach the stars. You haven't made any steps aside from creating a Tinder profile, which robots can do that. That's it's not a marketable skill. But good luck out there, Kay. You'll totally do something worthy of attention someday, maybe. I hope. God, I feel super sorry for the boyfriend of 4 years who's probably put all that he can into this. Like, when you're a young man, you know, you ain't got that much money, but she's out here just it's not good enough. I saw somebody on Instagram that had it better than me, so I have to have that. Like, you're fucking delusional. Do you know what it takes to make these things happen? You don't. You clearly don't. So don't come to me fucking asking for anything. Coming up to with your hand out, I spit in it. Yeah, I do feel a certain type of way about this. Ridiculous. Disgusting! We'll move on to the next post. This OP says, just got her number an hour ago and we haven't really talked or anything. So probably it's gonna get weird. That's nice. OP opens up and says, Victor Vaughn? And she says, my name's Victoria, lol, who is Victor Vaughn? And he says, it's the name of a rapper, lol. It just popped up in my head. Yeah, sure. So why not share it with me, I guess? She says, I'll look him up, lol. Are you free to talk now? OP says, well, I'm not at home now, but if you're up a little bit later, then we can. She says, what time are you going to be free tonight? It's a school night, lol. He says, probably not till 11. I'll be free tomorrow evening or night, though. A little stilted, but that's to be expected for a first conversation. I don't see anything wrong so far. Then we get to the second page. She says, gotcha. I know we didn't have enough time on Hinge to talk about what we want. I'm dating with intention and making time for what I want. It seems like you may not be on the same page. I don't want to waste your time if you don't have time to pursue something serious. Yeah, she really is not wasting any time. 1 hour. And she's like, are we going to do this shit or not? I guess we're not. I feel a little weird about it now. OP says, I am dating with intention and I make time for what I want. I'm just at my kickball league and we had a late start due to weather, lol. However, if your gut's telling you something else, no worries. Just didn't realize I was on the shot clock already, lol. Yeah, the shot clock never stops, dude. There's no timeouts. It's now or never. Put a ring on it or get out of my life. If that's the choice that I'm forced to make, then yeah. I'm gonna make the choice that's best for me. Let's keep it simple. Let's never interact again. I'll forget you exist, you forget I exist, and the world goes roundy round. That is super wild. Why accelerate so fast? Just fucking keep it cool. But I guess that's just not her personality type. Very schedule-oriented, you know? She's gonna end up being the trophy wife. She'll get behind somebody and be like, I understand everything. I see through dimensions. You need to do this next. And then you just do what she says and probably everything goes fine. The second that you don't do what she says, well, you don't want to know what happens then. It's horrible. Terrible. Let's go ahead and get into another post. In this post, we're opening up with 2 truths and a lie. I'm a runner. I've never had chicken pox. I've never broken, presumably some part of body. OP says, well, I feel like everyone over the age of 30 has had chicken pox, so that's gotta be the lie. Also, for what it's worth, I check all of those boxes. Ha ha. And she says, hi blank, I've not had chicken pox. The vaccine was introduced in 1995, so that's why most people over 30 have had it. Neither my brother nor I ever got it. I never broke a bone either, but have sprained quite a few things. Can't stand running, unless it's chasing after a volleyball or a 100-yard dash. Yeah, I don't know anybody who likes running, like, truly. There was one kid named Garrett, but, yeah, Garrett was weird. OP says, wow, did you know the year off the top of your head? Impressive if so. Also, is your bio a Pink Floyd reference? And she said, yes, it's almost like women can know things and be clever. Meanwhile, your 2 brain cells are fighting for 3rd place. Best of luck to you in your endeavors. Holy shit. It was nice girl energy, but sort of, OP deserved it, you know? One of the things that my wife helped me to notice is just how often dudes talk down to girls. Like, you really are surprised that she knows that thing? Would you have complimented another dude if he said it? Like, I don't think that you would have. Did she need to be that mean and savage on her way out? Perhaps not, but, I enjoyed it for what it was. Let's see if Gubbinses can help me decipher this one a little more.
Gaiac, like, did you know that year is backhanded Nobel Prize question? Bro, it not flirt, it trivia night for awkward people. I'm glad she has no chill. He deserves every bit of that roast. Gubbins.
Okay, so it seems like Gubbins is Team Nice Girl. How about you, Dark One?
She wanted to prove her intellect, but instead auditioned for the role of lowly Wikipedia comment section. A tragic duet of condescension and insecurity. Dark Gubbins.
Well, I guess Dark Gubbins is Team OP, so it's still all tied up. Maybe the comments section can break that down. I don't know. Let me know what you thought, especially if you made it to the end of the video, which this it is. Surprise! I hope you sign up on YouTube memberships or Patreon if you'd be so kind to support the channel month to month. We got Spotify and iTunes, which I didn't plug in the middle of the video, but it still does exist. There's also Fourth Wall for the merch. I'd like to remind you, as I do every day, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.